Hey guys, welcome back to Auto Repair guys. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing to the channel guys. In today's video guys, we will explain if you replaced your engine or you swapped your engine from another vehicle and your car doesn't start guys, what to look for. Make sure guys you stay with us until the end. We're going to cover some very important information. That way guys, you're going to diagnose what's wrong and why your car doesn't start. Quick introduction, we guys have more than 200 videos on every car we get at the shop. Why we do all that? Because our mission at the shop is to save you guys as much money as we can. So please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Hopefully guys you will find the information helpful. If you guys need to purchase any tools or parts for your car, check out the link in the description of the video below and you can get them for a really good price. So let's go ahead and start on this one and explain what needs to be done. We just put another engine, used engine, out of another vehicle and we'll explain what could be the reasons why this vehicle does not start after engine replacement. So, when guys replacing the engine, sometimes you can get a used engine or an engine out of another vehicle with a wiring harness already on the engine. But some of them guys, okay, may have different wiring harness. Why? Depending on the year, model, configuration, all that guys could be different. Everything may look the same and it may plug to your engine computer, like this one is located right here, but things may be different. So I'll recommend to use your original wiring harness or to verify that the wiring harness that's installed on the car actually works for your model. And you can do that by even calling the dealership and you can check your wiring harness part numbers and compare both of them and see if they're interchangeable or they have the same part number. That's one thing guys. Why? Because some of them, let's say like in the United States, you have flex fuel, non-flex fuel engines, everything looks the same but you may have different wiring harness. Check this thing out. Second, make sure all the wires are connected guys. You want to check wires for ignition coils, okay, wires for fuel injectors. If you have a high pressure pump with direct fuel injection, okay, like this one here, make sure that this one is installed there as well guys. Very important. Another thing, camshaft position sensor wires. Okay, you have usually on 4-cylinder you have 2 camshafts. Sometimes you may have a single camshaft. On V6, V8 you may have up to 4 camshaft position sensors. Now on some vehicles guys, the crankshaft position sensor, if you removed it, you have to realign it. Like Ford and Mazda use a special procedure to calibrate the crankshaft position sensor. If you remove the crankshaft position sensor, that's why maybe your car doesn't start. That's another thing guys, so check that one as well. But you always want to make sure that you have engine oil, you have coolant in your system and you bled the cooling system. Some vehicles you can do that without even starting the car, like there is a bleeder valve or you remove a hose usually, like on this Ford Focus, we remove that hose until coolant starts coming out and we install it guys. And if you have power steering pump, you may have 2 different options, belt driven hydraulic pump or electric pump. That's not belt driven guys. If it's a belt driven pump, you have to bleed your power steering system before you start it, otherwise you're going to damage guys your power steering pump because it will run dry. After you connect everything and all that guys, connect your car battery. This one will be the very last step. So you have to make sure that you have everything connected, then connect your car battery. Now, some vehicles guys, okay, some cars have fuel reset switch guys. And if you replace the engine, sometimes that switch will be activated. On some models, it's located, let's say Ford, some of them, older ones, they used to have a fuel reset switch. Just search for your specific model, not everyone has it, but some Fords used to have it. Okay, it used to be like right here or in the trunk and you have to press that switch in to be able to start the car guys. Otherwise, it wasn't possible to start the car until you reset the fuel switch. Another thing guys, if you don't have that fuel reset switch, new vehicles now have it integrated in the ignition switch and I'm going to explain about that in just a second. Now, before even starting guys, I'll recommend to connect an OBD scanner and clear all the codes from the system, make sure that you don't have anything. And if you don't have a manual fuel reset switch guys, you may need to actually go ahead and turn the ignition on. Okay, wait about 15 seconds. And after that guys, what you're going to do, you're going to turn it off. Cycle it about 3 times. And while you cycle it guys, you're going to hear for the first couple seconds the fuel pump under the rear seat usually building pressure. And we'll demonstrate, okay, if that car now is going to start. So let's see that now. Oh, our battery is dead. So let me jump it quick and we'll continue. So let's check it now. Stop, guys. Okay, stop if he doesn't want to start. Stop again. Cycle the key a few more times. The pump is going to build pressure. Your fuel line may be empty, that's why it doesn't start. Nothing again. So, okay, I'll cycle it a few more times. Okay, and let's see what's going to happen now. It fired right up, guys. And now if I start it, perfect. So, if your car, guys, does not start after engine replacement, engine swap, guys, okay, that's what you may need to do, guys. You need to check all those things. So, hopefully, guys, the video will be helpful. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos and see you guys next time.